So today we are going to present about street hawker versus individual with payslip. So this is my group mate, Intan Sharina, Fatin Nur Shazwani, Nurul Atira, Nabiha, and Asumi Miftahul Jannah. Stay tuned. So what is a street hawker? Street hawker is someone that sells things by calling at people's homes or standing in the street. While individual with payslip is someone that get their total wages earned for a set period. This might be from a salary, hour wages or commission. So in this study, we will see which one is good at financial management and risk management.
Assalamualaikum to Doctor. My name is Nur Atira binti Hamdan. My matric number is 271125. So here I will explain the several objectives regarding this assignment. First objective is to look at the difference between these two working groups, which is street worker and individual with payslip in managing their risk. Second objective, to help us in a deeper understanding regarding why risk management is so important to the public, especially the working people. Third objective is to see the advantages available for these two working groups for them to overcome their risk so that no unwanted problem occur to themselves and their families. Next objective is to look at the difference in the risk they face. Number 5 is evaluating between these two working groups which is better in the terms of the risk position they face. And lastly, we can find out how much takaful coverage they need to reduce the risk burdens they face.
There are two purposes to be highlighted in this report. First, the purpose is to determine the understanding about risk management within the group member. In this group assignment, we are required to assist two groups in planning their risk management. The two groups are individuals who have payslip and the one who did not have payslip, which is we narrow it to stall hawker. The planning in risk management is very important to make sure we are able to identify the potential problem in financial before they occur. So all we need to do is analyze potential risks and find solution for precaution to reduce the risk. Next purpose of this report is to learn the real situation of risk in life perspective. The real situation of risk that we learned is literally important in order to help us to appreciate the self-consciousness on risk value. It is very important for us to have knowledge in managing our financial when it comes to managing the assets and liability to reduce the risk we might have in the future.
So we have interviewed a street hawker who was randomly picked up near the home area of one of our group member. So we have interviewed Mrs. Soleha, who is a small business entrepreneur or a street vendor who sells various type of cakes such as like potato curry puff, sardine curry puff, cucur badak, appam, kuih keria and vegetable curry puff in Tasik Kelukor, Penang. So she has been in this area of business since 2009 with 12 years of experience in the cake business. So according to her, not only a fry cakes on the street that she make, but now she has developed her abilities in the frozen cake sales section as well. So this is due to her deep interest in the field of cuisine, especially in the making of traditional cakes. So Mrs. Soleha also talked about her family, namely her husband, who has not been able to work since 2020 due to health problems. However, he also received another ancillary assistance such as like from Zakat, SOCSO and EPF also. Which also can reduce Mrs. Soleha's burden of managing household affairs. So she also has two children who are still studying right now. So each of them has received education funding, which makes her feel very happy because she's not too burdened to think about their schooling. So therefore, she is also very pleased to share some personal information about her family's income and others to facilitate the group assignment process to run smoothly. Okay, so this is an example of network that has been already made by us as a group of assignment on the findings from the interview that has we made with Mrs. Soleha. So based on the findings, it can be summarized here that the total income of Mrs. Soleha family is 2,000 ringgit and the total monthly expenses is about 1,670. So, and in the event of the death of the breadwinners, so Mrs. Soleha itself, so it is found that the total new monthly expenses will be borne by her husband, amounting around 1,395 ringgit. So thus there is a surplus of income which indicate that their family finance are in a good shape and can still make savings for the future. But however, when the death of the breadwinner occurs, they have a slight deficit where they have to be frugal in spending or find an extra money to make the better savings.
For individual with Payslip, we choose to interview an English teacher named Zuraidi bin Zainuddin. One of our group members has video called him and asked him a few questions about his financial income and also about his risk management statement. He is a secondary school teacher who teaches English language at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Seri Gunung Bachok, Kelantan. His wife is Mrs. Salimah binti Mat, a primary teacher at Sekolah Kebangsaan Kubang Telaga, Bachok, Kelantan. He has 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. His elder daughter and his son are working, while his 2 other daughters are studying at local public universities. Mr. Zuraidi has paid 7,299 ringgit and 80 cents for his monthly salary. He received several of allowance for his compensation. Besides, he pays for several expenses monthly, such as his utilities, his telephone, and his internet bill. As a result, he is delighted to disclose some personal details to us about his income for our group written report. And thank you to him because can give a good contribution, and our interview process operate well. From the information that has been given by Mr. Zuraidi, we could summarize that the income currently earned by Mr. Zuraidi as a teacher is 104,398 ringgit and 32 sen per year. Meanwhile, the yearly expenses accumulated is 95,997 ringgit and 56 sen for various things. As the result, Mr. Zuraidi has a surplus which is 38,700 ringgit and 70 sen. Okay, for his risk management, Mr. Zuraidi is at a higher risk since his total asset is insufficient to cover his risk, even if he has fewer liabilities, and his total asset cannot remain secure for an extended period of time. The additional expenditure that must be covered once Mr. Zuraidi dies are 36,770 ringgit per year, as opposite to the current expenses, which is RM997.15. We can observe that Mr. Zaidi must cover more than Mrs. Soleha, since he has several expenditure. We recommend Mr. Zaidi to purchase a takaful plan for himself and also for his family, in order to give facilities and returns that are desirable in the case of his death in the future.
Different between street hawker and an individual with payslip, the two of them is a surplus. About the risk management, street hawker have a modest risk, while payslip is a higher risk. What will a family need to cover if the breadwinner dies? For street hawker, they need to cover RM 16,140, while for payslip, RM 36,770. Takaful coverage for both is RM 500,000. The better one at the risk management is a street hawker.
First suggestion is to evaluate own financial risk and management. This evaluation is needed to do at least per year to make sure that both of the group aware with the changing in their financial that probably happen every year. The changing happens in their finance also will change the risk that the group might face in the future. Either it will reduce or likewise, so we can prevent or set another contingency plan if the risks are getting higher. Second suggestion is to subscribe takaful plan for family coverage. Both of the group are suggested to subscribe takaful plan to help, where the takaful can help to reduce their burden if they are having unwanted situation in the future. This takaful plan can be said as contingency plan for them to survive in the future in terms of lessen their burdens if they are having difficulties such as the death of the breadwinner of the family or other situation that takaful able to cover.